Monique says that she had an image to maintain within her marriage. She's still maintaining that image. You almost had me fooled, girl. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. I wanted to bring you a review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 10, episode 12. Before we get into this episode, go ahead and hit the like button for me. When you hit the like button, it is a free way to support the channel. If you have any hypes left, please go to the comment section, swipe right, hit the hype button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Before we get into today's episode, I wanted to really quickly give a shout out to my members. You can sign up for the membership in the link in my description. For just a cup of coffee every month, you can support the maintenance of this channel. I do believe it's priced at $6.99. So thank you all to my members. I see you all joining the membership. Some of you are rejoining, and I really appreciate you so much. So huge shout out to Indigo Child, V. Kari Davi, Tinkerbell, Joe's Willie, Jackie Green, Rich the Fish, Girl I Don't Know, Sweet Cakes, Always a Lady, Claudia Smith, J Cat, JC, So Iconic, Miss Dominique, LOL, Lana, Taisha, This Cat Rocks, Uptown Alley Cat, Lauren, Hot Commodity, Melanated Pisces, Jabril Sal, Callie Steve, Charlene, Cookie Ray, Desna Fulton, DMS, Robert Rosencrantz, Eloise, and Monique. Thank y'all so much for joining the membership. Huge shout out to everyone in the comments who joins me for every premiere. Huge shout out to those of you who are in the rafters, who never comment, or maybe you comment every 6 months, whatever it is. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. The channel is growing, the community is growing, and I love that for me.
Thank you, 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 thank you.
By the way, if y'all have any year-end recaps where I happen to be like one of your most watched channels, please send me a screenshot, or please tag me on Instagram, tag me on Twitter, tag me on Blue Sky, you know, tag me on TikTok, wherever. Bonnie Scotch on all platforms. So I would love to see that if I'm in your year-end recaps. It's the end of the year and it's a nostalgic time. We're reflecting on the year. I'm gonna jump on a little bit later this week and talk about Salt Lake City, some updates. I won't be covering Salt Lake City anymore. I have my reasons for that, but I won't get into it here. Before we fully get into it though, I forgot to mention 2 things last week in my recap. The first thing was Gizelle saying that Stacey isn't to be trusted around husbands and children. Gizelle is a very dangerous woman, and she has all of these white woman-esque dog whistles that she throws out about people. I think it's very disgusting and dangerous to just throw out that somebody can't be trusted around people's kids. What has Stacey done or shown us that she can't be trusted around children? Also, I was so upset because I had pulled this clip. Whenever Stacey and Kay had gotten into that back and forth, and Stacey told Kay, act a fool, girl. That's what you do. I had pulled this clip. I didn't get to use it, and I was so upset that I didn't get to use that clip of Alexis Mateo telling Mimi I'm first. Act a fool, girl. Act a fool.
Act a fool, girl. I'm here. Act a fool.
I was so mad at myself last week when I watched this back. I was like, oh my God. Because sometimes I go off on these little rants and rambles and I don't go back to my original notes. So I end up missing like the thing that would have triggered off in my mind that I need to insert a clip. Anyway, this episode was kind of whatever to me. It was very filler, whatever. So let's just get into it. So we start this episode with Gizelle and Wendy at the car dealership. Gizelle is going to get a G-Wagon. They start talking about Monique. I really don't care for how Gizelle is talking about Monique, saying, oh, I need to see where her head is at. Anybody coming back to this show or coming onto the show, period, needs to try to figure out where your head is at. Because one day you might wake up and want to tell a lie about somebody's paternity. You might wake up and want to tell a lie about somebody's husband. You might wake up and want to tell a lie about somebody S.A.ing somebody when that never even happened. So they need to be watching you as much as you're concerned about where Monique's mindset is. In the next scene, we get Stacy and AJ, her friend that we met last year. I would really like to see more of this guy. He's basically just telling her, listen, you need to be letting these girls have it. You can't let somebody from across the pond come and read you. Stacy is having a launch for Shio. She invites all of the women except for Wendy. She's telling Wendy at this lunch a couple of episodes ago that she can't invite her because there's a conflict of interest. Stacy, you're full of shit. You are. I still like you. I still like Stacy, but you're full of it, girl. Anyway, we get a scene with Tia at her real estate office talking about how she grew up rich again. How many more times are we going to hear this story and see these pictures from the 80s? The pictures are cute, but how many more times?
Storyline for me has run stale.
Tia calls Stacy. She thanks her for the invite. She says that she's upset with her. Okay, girl. We get a scene with Ashley and this little white boy that she's dating. She strung this man along for a year knowing that he has no money. She knows that this was just a piece of dick on the side. Then she want to tell him on TV in front of everybody that he don't got no money and that he's young and he might want kids and marriage and how he need to have white sheets and all of this other shit. You know all of this from the very beginning. You knew that this was not a person that you could get serious with. Sometimes it's okay to just let things be what they are. This was a piece of dick. Be honest about that. Like, we as the audience, we're not fooled about what this was. So you having this conversation with this man about, oh, well, you might want kids, you might want marriage. Like, girl, shut up. You was just using this as a moment to film a scene and you just so happen to embarrass the man. And I don't even, feel like coming to his defense or like that, but I really didn't even really too much care for that. Stupid ass scene. Okay, so we finally get this Monique and Gizelle sit down. Monique said that she had to sit back and ask herself, why was she mad? Maybe because Gizelle questioned the paternity of your child and was asking shady questions and throwing shade at you from the moment that you got onto the show, being antagonistic. I did appreciate that she told Gizelle that she has a tendency to get into people's relationships. She emphasized that trainer comment. From what we saw, Gizelle didn't take any accountability in this conversation, but on Watch What Happens Live, Monique said that Gizelle did. Andy is saying, well, why didn't we show that? Andy, shut your ass up. You know why y'all didn't show it. Y'all never want to show Gizelle in a light where she is being held accountable, because then it would mean that she is admitting some wrongdoing. And for whatever reason, y'all are so averse to that. Maybe let me tell you something. That Creole witch got them in her shoe. She got them in jars. She'd sprinkle some dust on them. Something. Because it ain't no motherfucking way. It ain't no way that Gizelle is like, oh, I need to see where your head is at. And you were like this. Girl, Gizelle, you gave that lady hell. You gave everybody that came onto this show hell to some degree. And it was crazy to me how at the top of the episode, Gizelle was saying, oh, we take accountability in this group.
Lies, lies, and more lies, and lies on top of lies.
Who is we? Because it damn sure ain't you. So we get the replay of the clip where Candace and Monique, get really heated with each other. And the thing is Monique started this shit. She reached over and she is touching Candace's hair. She's flipping it, which is assault. Candace could have swung on her right then, but Candace is not a fighter. And that's why Monique did this. She's flipping Candace's hair, and in hindsight, it was very stupid of Candace to say, drag me, while that girl's hand was in her hair. So Candace is like, drag me, and her hand is already like this. So all she did was and start yanking on her. And I'm just like, girl, why did you do that? Why didn't you at least back up from her and, talk whatever other shit you was going to talk? Let's not even go back to that, child. Anyway, Monique said she had an image to upkeep and manage with Chris, and I feel like she's still doing the same thing right now. She's doing a very good job of maintaining and managing her image. She's a quintessential Virgo in that way, but not so fast, Monique, because I'm finding all of this to be very disingenuous. And the reason for that is I watched the clip of her at Watch What Happens Live.
Like, we've seen that you've done so much work on yourself. How do you feel about your relationship with Candace, and do you see there ever being a reconciliation?
There was no relationship, and sometimes moving on doesn't mean that you have to reconcile. Sometimes you just see people for who they are, and you know your place, and you set your boundaries, and it's okay not to rekindle something that isn't meant to be rekindled.
All right.
It was just crazy to me how she said that she and Candace never had a relationship. What? Am I making this up? That they had a friendship and Monique used to call Candace little sis? Like, did my brain literally make that up? Like, I need to know if I'm losing my mind right now. I need to know. I've dated a Virgo before. Virgos have this ability to make you question your reality. They talk in this way as if they have nothing to do with why shit went off the rails, that they really have you thinking that it's completely all on you. You assaulted that lady, and now you're setting boundaries? It's therapy speak. And I have a problem with therapy speak because I feel like a lot of y'all like to weaponize therapy speak. You hear these words, you learn these words in therapy, and you don't really know what they mean, and you go out and you just throw them out there. How is it that you need boundaries from somebody that you assaulted? Monique, you're not fooling me, girl. You're not fooling me, girl. The PR was working in them first 2 episodes that you came back, the first 2 or 3. Baby, no ma'am. No ma'am. This is why I could never see it from Monique. Very disingenuous, very inauthentic. I think it's still on Monique to say, I didn't handle things well. I didn't handle things in the best way, and I regret that. And leave it at that. All of this shit about boundaries, like she did something to you, you are out of your mind. When you are dealing with or dating an unevolved Virgo, baby, they will have you questioning what is real. They will rewrite history. They will rewrite an entire narrative. Yes, they will. Monique, you almost had me fooled, girl. You almost had me fooled. We get this very unnecessary scene with Uggums McGee, Kay's mother, and Baby Bop, aka Angel. Before y'all start typing fast, I didn't make up that name for Angel. The girls on Twitter are calling her Baby Bop. I feel like if you could jump on TV and call a dark-skinned woman Forrest Whitaker, the girls can call you Baby Bop. So anyway, Uggums McGee, Kay's mother, and Baby Bop are at this jewelry store, okay? Listen to me. Did y'all see that shot of Angel walking up into the ring store? You know how they get these kind of sweeping shots of like details of the girl's outfits? I always tell y'all from time to time, like the way things are cut, the way things are edited, you can tell who a producer favors and who they hate. They hate Angel's guts. Everything from the shot of her shoes, the way they got the shot of her shoes, I was like, who is this walking up? And then the way they got the shot of her backside, it was very unflattering. I said, oh, they hate you, girl. It seemed to me as though Kay got read last week by Stacey for not having a ring, and then she scrambled, ran to set up this scene with Uggums McGee and her mother. I said, wow. I was looking at Greg, because the light is bouncing up into his face from, the jewelry case. And I'm just looking at this man real good. And I'm wondering, I'm like, how did he pull her? How did he get her? What did he say? How did they meet? How did this happen? I'm going to leave it alone. This man is looking for $2 million rings on a social worker budget.
Insufficient funds.
How is he buying her a condo on a social worker budget? Didn't Kay say that they started building a house together last year? Or the year before that? Kiarna is telling a lot of stories that don't make sense. I feel like Kay lies too, but she's not taking a task for the lies that she tells. You got this dummy Angel talking about, oh, we're in our 30s, we're middle aged.
Shut up, girl! Shut up!
Because, You just sound stupid at every turn. Anyway, we get a scene with Ashley and her sister, the daughter that Sheila got with that drunk ass white man. Prayers up for this young lady, because imagine Ashley being your sister, Sheila being your mother, and a drunken bum and a deadbeat for your father. I recently found out that Ashley's little sister's daddy is white, the same man that has Sheila up under the bridge, the same one that she's taking care of now with his drunk ass. Taking care of any man, paying any man's way through this world is absolutely crazy, but paying a white man's way through the world, with all that privilege they have, baby, that's an abomination. The sister pretty much set a boundary that, she's going to be away at college and she won't be visiting the house because her daddy is a drunken pissy mess and she's sick of it. So good for her. Shout out to her. This baby girl got some sense. Praise the Lord. Then this baby starts breaking down and crying, and I just feel awful for her. We get this scene with Wendy and Eddie at the dispensary trying out the Happy Eddie line. Now, I did try something from the Happy Eddie line sometime this summer, and it was fabulous. I can't remember the name of the strain, but it was really good. I don't have a whole lot to say about this scene outside of why didn't Wendy know her PIN number? Invalid PIN is a motherfucking fool. Girl, at the top of the season, you went to sit down talking about, oh, you feeling sick, and telling Jazzy, can you get my things? Why couldn't you get your things? Why couldn't you just reach down in your pocketbook and pull out your debit card and give it to her? Everything about Wendy this season, it has to do with money. And it's not looking good, babes. Was it weird to anybody else that Wendy put in another PIN number and then she got it right and she started jumping up and down and celebrating? That made me very uncomfortable. Same time, we're having this scene with Stacy. She's at her event, this Shio launch. I thought it was foul that she didn't invite Wendy and told Wendy that it was due to a conflict of interest, but she told the girls that Wendy couldn't make it. So you lying again for no reason, and I just don't understand why you couldn't tell them the same thing that you told Wendy, because my thing is like this. And here's the thing, here's how I feel about lying too. I understand a well-placed lie, and I'm not mad at one. And sometimes I feel like, and I learned this just from, studying ATRs over the years and just being within a certain spiritual community, I've learned that sometimes you do have to tell a lie to throw your enemy off your scent. Right? So I understand that. But these are stupid lies. Because you're telling Wendy one thing, like there's no possibility that she won't go back and repeat it to the other ladies. Not only that, you're being filmed. What's going on, mama? I understand, and I still feel like this. Stacy's lies don't really hurt anybody, but they do hurt herself. And they hurt her credibility. That's the whole thing. This is why these girls are always willing to rail against you. They always have a reason. Only Ashley, Tia, and Jazzy show up to the event. Kay and Gizelle both said F you. Stacey pulls Ashley to the side to ask her to let things go and stop taking her to task every moment. I really didn't appreciate how Ashley told her, I don't want you being a lying ass hoe about this and that. Girl, who the fuck are you talking to? Because you're a lying asshole the last time I checked. I really didn't too much care for this scene because I feel like when you girls have your own personal events and launches, I don't feel like that is the space for conflict. Why are you going to pull Ashley to the side to have this whole conversation with her? Like, girl, what? Then these people are standing around just looking at y'all having this argument, and I just feel like that's embarrassing because you're taking away from your business. Same way Kenya Moore was showing that girl's nudes at her hair salon launch, whatever. Ghetto. Y'all, Tia is wearing me out with this accent. I ain't even gonna hold you. Does anyone else want some water? Girl. So Tia and Stacy have this conversation. Stacy is saying that the situation is delicate because Wendy and Eddie played a part in exposing that whole TJ storyline last year. And I can understand that. I just wish that Stacy would lead with that. I wish that Stacy told Wendy that. Because we just keep getting all of these different stories. And I'm not saying that that's not a valid reason. It very much is, but I don't know. Tia starts to tell Stacy why she's upset. And of course, this conversation devolved in a mercurial nature. Stacy tells Tia that she's a try-hard, just like her fashions. She kicks her out after Tia tells her to shut up and whatever else. You know, they get loud with each other, of course. Now, I can see Stacy wanting to get Tia back for screaming at her in her face with that thick-ass tongue and that lisp. But, you know, I do think that she needs to get back at Ashley a little bit. That's my only thing. Like, you have a lot of energy for Tia, which I do understand, but I need you to have that same energy for Ashley. You can't just let Ashley go. I don't know if it's, you know, oh, she's an OG, so I'm going to take it easy on her. Let her ass have it. I need to see it. I think that everybody in general takes it way too easy on Ashley. I don't know how it is that she's able to get away with the things that she's able to get away with on this show. Anyway, y'all, that was the episode. Go ahead and get down in the comments with me. Let me know how you felt about this one. You already know I want to hear from you. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Hit the like button on your way out. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting. And I'm going to see y'all for the next one. Peace.